Welcome to the shop. I'm Jared, and this is the Questionable Garage. And this is another project car. I know what you're saying, we've got plenty of them, but don't worry. One, this is for a good cause, and two, it should be a relatively straightforward thing.
Are you serious?
Right away, before anyone gets angry at the title, wants to give me a thumbs down, or say I'm just clickbaiting. No, this really is a result of a museum effectively being scammed on an auction. They purchased one thing, and they got this thing, and we're basically just stuck with it. So, that ended up getting donated from one museum to another. That museum was looking for some help making this thing work and be ready to go on display. And because this is the Questionable Garage, I quickly raised my hand and said, we will tackle this. Maybe I should rename to the Slightly Smart Choices Garage. We get ourselves into a lot of things, but that's okay. We get ourselves into some weird things, but this one is special. I'm sure you guys are ready to see it, so let me pull the cover off. Are you ready for this? Meet the Snyder ST600-C, the three-wheeled wonder that somehow convinced the DMV it was a motorcycle. Yes, you heard that right. Despite 4 doors, this is a motorcycle. Now, you might be thinking, but wait, isn't that a car? And you'd be mostly right, given the 4 doors and motorcycles not having doors, except for the whole missing the wheel in the front thing, and a boatload of lights and reflectors plastered all over it to meet motorcycle safety standards. You got reflectors on the side, on the back, tail lights, just absolutely an absurd amount of them. It has as many reflectors as that cool kid did on his Huffy in the 80s rolling on his mag wheels. When you see all these lights and reflectors, you get a small glimpse into the designer's mind. Hey, if we can't make it safe, we'll at least make it shiny. So let's talk about these headlights. Snyder's, or Fulu's, designers clearly had a more is more philosophy. The ST600-C sports not 1, but 3 headlights. 2 that barely function like normal car headlights, and that third one smack in the middle, right where you'd expect a badge. But here's the kicker, that third headlight is required by law to be a motorcycle and is angled slightly more towards the sky. Doesn't aim and light the road at all. Perfect for spotting those low-flying airplanes, but not so great for lighting the road that you're driving on. Next, those wheels. The ST600-C rolls on 3 12-inch wheels. Tiny by car standards, and tiny by motorcycle standards, but surprisingly, it is equipped with disc brakes behind. So while you may feel like you're driving a scooter on steroids, at least you can stop on a dime. Or a nickel. Realistically, a penny. Now, if you're worried that it's just the outside that is quirky and weird, I've got great news. The inside is just as weird and quirky. First off, your motorcycle has room for not 1, but 4 Jareds. Inside, you've got a rear-mounted 586cc motorcycle engine. Yes, it's called the ST600. You would think you'd have a 600cc engine, but, you know, we like to exaggerate here in the United States. And that engine is mated to a 4-speed manual gearbox with reverse. So yeah, you're really driving a motorcycle in disguise. Planning a road trip or basic grocery shopping and you're excited about all that space you're gonna have, forget about it. The rear seats may as well be your trunk because the engine hogs all the other space where a trunk might be. Also, there's a frunk under the hood, but things like the radiator and steering rack and front tire occupy that entire space, so it's just as useful as that third headlight. So there you have it, the Snyder ST600-C, a motorcycle that thinks it's a car, or maybe a car that thinks it's a motorcycle. Either way, it's an attention grabber, whether you're on the road or trying to explain to your insurance company why you need a motorcycle policy for something with a roof and 4 doors. Just remember, in the world of vehicles, sometimes it's the questionable choices and quirks that make the ride. All right, so as you can tell from our beauties and everything, there's maybe a little bit of beauty missing from our little Snyder here. Also, you're asking yourself, what was the scam? Well, here are the pictures of the auction listing. So yes, as you can tell, based on the auction pictures and this little gem here, it's not quite the same vehicle. If you notice, we're at the back right now. This gem has a very, very special option. If we look inside here, yeah, there's no engine. This Snyder has that very special extreme body damage, no engine option. That's a problem if you're going to try to make a car run and drive. What we do see is our nice little 4-speed transmission, shifter cables, an engine wiring harness, a broken CD boot, and no engine. But one thing we did get, I've got it staged right there, we've got a bunch of boxes of parts. So let's take a look and see what we've got in there. And then what I'm going to plead with you guys to help me find. Just because my gut says everything we need is not in those boxes. Small benefit, it's still made today in China. But I don't speak Cantonese or any other common commerce Chinese languages. So I might need some help finding parts so we can get our Snyder working. But either way, let's start looking in those boxes and have a little bit of fun unwrapping a bunch of parts we didn't have to pay any money for. Yep, so we've got ourselves a broken car and a lot of boxes. You know, a really common car that's gonna be easy to find parts. So it's at least a nice thing. We've got some parts, but I don't know if we have all our parts. So we're gonna kind of speed unbox here a little bit because, well, I want to. Let's get started with box one. Hubcap, slightly faded. A spare radio. I don't know, this might be actually pretty rare. Replacement air intake boot, which is good because we don't have it. It's totally missing from our car, along with an engine. A windshield washer pump. Totally normal for a motorcycle to have. Also totally normal, replacement window felts, you know, because all motorcycles have crank windows. Replacement windshield wiper motor, probably gonna come in handy. Replacement throttle cable. I believe that's what it looks like. I can't read any of that. Box one. Jumping to that camera to look on the floor, we've got one replacement swing arm and suspension. Also sitting under the table, we have 2 rear struts. Shock assemblies, technically coilover shocks. They're not struts because they don't turn because they're not in the front of the vehicle. Going into this box, 1, 2 spark plug leads. What I believe is an actual motorcycle cap that may not go to this vehicle, or it may be replacement locking caps that go underneath your locking gas cap. Because you know what's more secure than 1 locking gas cap? 2. Replacement stepper motor. This is either gonna be a fuel shutoff valve or a idle air control valve. Brake pads, which are surprisingly large given the size of the vehicle. Another broken luggage rack bracket, which is good. And we have a map/intake air temperature sensor. Kind of nice that it's a combo sensor. Box number 3. 3 brand new hubcaps. 2 brand new side view mirrors with electrical connections. These are the lightest, flimsiest things I've held given their size. 1 not new. Well, actually, no, maybe it is just that poor of a quality. We got a new glove box. Oh, Box number 4. 1 antenna, 2 antenna. This is a replacement, I don't believe new, but it's a replacement rear trim piece that goes around the exhaust. Can't tell, new grill for the front or the rear. And we've got 2 more. So we have a total of 3 rear exhaust surrounds, 1 new steering wheel with airbag. Does it pop off easy? Nope, we don't want to break it. We're doing a speed. We've got a whole lot of forms saying these parts go with that vehicle, don't take them. Well, that's not the vehicle that was purchased. At least we got notes saying don't take the parts from it. 1, owner's manual. Safety is on page 1. Safety is 1 page. We'll look at this a little bit later on when we're building the car to get it running. 1 brand new engine wiring harness. 1 electronic door lock actuator kit. Comes with remotes and everything. The biggest irony of this looks like one that if you wanted any car, your old Toyota Tercel, Camry, Civic, if you wanted to add electric door locks, this is the kit you would buy. We got replacement bumper lights. We've got replacement interior trim pieces. Replacement tail lights. Oh, this one has the LED electronic board. This one does not. Another mirror, mud flap, 1 interior vent for your heat only. You don't get AC in these. I guess that's the one other way to make it more motorcycle-like. 1 replacement door handle. Got a pair of light housings. So far, not a whole lot to make this thing run. Inside here, 1 new exhaust. Adorably small. Very small. But at 600cc, you don't need a whole lot. Yeah. Look at that. 1 complete Cherry engine, brand new. Has that map sensor, all those little things. It's ready to go, almost. What is really kind of cool, brand new clutch here on the back, brand new flywheel, but we are missing some crucial parts, and this is where I really hope some of you can help. I've been doing a little bit of Googling. The US retailers do not respond in any capacity anymore for these engines. This is a Cherry engine, C-H-E-R-Y. It will go right into the car, do everything we need, but crucial parts that I need that you can help with. A starter, a crank angle sensor. I need the exhaust downpipe that goes from here down and under the engine and then connects to the rest of the catback exhaust. Those are like the biggest. That exhaust, O2 sensor that goes in it, a crank angle sensor, and a starter. Beyond that, a would be nice are gonna be the motor mount brackets that would bolt to this, that bolt to the rubbers. And then either CV axles or a boot kit. I can match that up, I'm not too worried about. But where I am pleading for your help, Dwayne, parts list. Starter, crank angle sensor. The exhaust pipe that goes from the manifold to the muffler assembly with O2 sensor. Right? Yeah, crank angle, that. And then would be nice, motor mount brackets, CV axles or a CV boot kit. Again, these are still made brand new in China today. They're available to be sold and driven regularly. It's a very common vehicle there. So hopefully we can find these parts. Hopefully some of you are a little bit better at internet sleuthing, because my initial plan for this whole project was introduce it, fix it in 2 days, and then deliver it to the museum prettied up a little bit. Well, we gotta find some parts first. So if you can help, email me. It's in the description below, jared@thequestionablegarage.com. Be awesome to get this thing running, because one of the other programs that I've kind of been talking with Sean and the Miles Through Time Museum, which would be a lot of fun, is kind of like a day at the museum where we coordinate and bring out some of the cars that are unique, have a special driving experience. You can come with a little bit larger donation and you get to ride along with all of them. Probably the electric S10 some, obviously the Snyder would be funny, and Model A, Model T, something, you know, there's a whole lot to flesh out and work, but it does 2 things. It helps fund the museum and it gives you an opportunity to experience something really unique. For the first one, maybe we bring Roadblock out and You get to experience 800 horsepower launches in a Hellcat pickup truck, Ute. But that's it. I have an engine, I have a car. We're missing a couple key components for me to marry it all. I know you all want to see me driving it. I kind of want to as well. The gag of climbing in and out of that super tiny car without the ability to drive it would be a bummer. So if you're able to help out, help me narrow things down. Or if you're in the United States and you have some of these parts and you maybe kind of want to get rid of them, the museum is a qualified charity. Some donations, I think, are tax qualified. So if you have the parts in the US or a parts car that has the parts, however, help us out. Help me get this thing going because I want to get it running and driving, and it would be fun to take it over and drive it to miles through time and let people experience someone's really bad idea. The reason these things aren't sold new anymore is the Wildfire, the sister car, Snyder Computers and Snyder Technologies that were importing them, they fibbed on their EPA forms. Don't, you know, there's a lot of things I'm not a fan of the government, but one thing I will definitely tell you, don't lie to them when it comes to the emissions forms. Because they found out, and yeah, they came after them pretty hard. Never mind the whole skirting the technicalities of it being a motorcycle. Don't lie about emissions. You know, just don't do it. But that wraps up today's episode where we got to introduce a fun car and introduce the concept of us trying to help a museum recover from a little bit of a scam on the auction house. A little bummer that nothing was done to make it right, but we get to do it now, make it right, and get it running and driving. I'm Jared, reminding you guys to always make questionable choices. And sometimes questionable cars can be a whole lot of fun. And sometimes they just make you question your sanity. We'll see you next time.